you never was going to change. You just apologized just to diffuse it at that precise moment.
You only got me the flowers because it was like, let me see what I can do, soften her up. But you still continued the behaviour every single time after that. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. This is Sisters and Chats with me, Jade.
And me, Paige.
So when it comes to apologies, is there such thing as apology language? Just like we have love languages, would you say there's apology love language?
I guess some people like gifts when someone's apologizing to them, or I don't know. I just feel like I don't think that's a language though. It's just something that kind of just
Happens.
Yeah.
But it's a thing like, how do you go about doing it, basically? And you just touched on one thing, which was gifts. And may I just say that in my previous relationship, I only ever got flowers when it was an apology.
Apology flowers.
Apology flowers. And I remember I went to an art exhibition.
It's because I said jux.
Yeah. I remember I went to an exhibition and they had this it was like kind of a writing one. I don't know how you say it. Word text, and it was like basically F your apology flowers.
Oh,
and I think that's when it hit me. Like, this is when I was single, so I was like, oh my god, that's so true. I only ever got flowers when you were apologizing. And I was like, crazy. I got apology flowers.
I hate that though, because it's like it takes away the actual meaning of what flowers are supposed to be for.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, flowers are for so many different reasons, but like, let's be real, in a relationship, it's just a small little reminder to be like, oh, I love you, like, oh, I thought about you today.
Yeah.
It's just something small. It shouldn't be used purely for something negative, like, oh, I messed up, here's your flowers. No.
Yeah, I agree. But that's all I've ever known. So yeah, but anyways, I'm not a flower girl, I'm a plant girly. So
yeah, you are a plant girly.
So we're all good in that department. Don't ever be sending me plants to apologise. That's just rude.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But also I feel like, I guess what we could kind of go on the lines of like how you apologise, like apology language can also be how you speak to someone.
Yeah, that was my next thing. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. In the sense of like, say if you do something wrong, I think don't apologise just for the sake of apologising to like wrap up the situation. Like, show that you actually understand and work on it. Because otherwise, isn't it manipulating someone when you apologise and repeat the same behaviour again and again and just apologise? It's like you never was going to change. You just apologise just to diffuse it at that precise moment.
But I do have a point to say to that.
Go on.
That being, when a situation happens and you've sat back and you've had a conversation about it and you apologise for acting the way you did.
Yeah.
And then say if the situation arises again, kind of not shortly after, but kind of not in a long enough time span, I feel like you might end up repeating that behaviour. But you generally did mean that apology when you use those words, like, I'm really sorry. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's hard for you to change your behaviour straight away. So sometimes...
Okay, maybe I should change that then.
Someone can say, I'm sorry, and they genuinely mean it with the words they're using, but it ain't going to just happen overnight. And obviously, it's annoying because that's when it kind of links to the whole, well, how are you going to test that they've improved?
Yeah.
You don't know until the situation's happened again. So it's kind of like an awkward, sticky one with words. So sometimes, people can be throwing it around for the sake of throwing it around and just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, to say anything that you want to hear just so they're not under pressure anymore and you're off their back. But then there are times people do generally mean it.
Yeah, no, that is true.
So I guess that's like a 2-in-1. It depends. It depends.
Fairness, I do think, like, deep down, you kind of know when someone really does mean their apology. But it's just whether you're being truthful to yourself. And if you're like, oh yeah, they actually mean their apology. Because like you said, it does happen sometimes, like where you apologise for something and you repeat your behaviour. Yeah. But I think I'm also referring to, say if you've done this like years and years and years and years, you just keep apologising and there's no change.
Oh,
That's when I'm kind of saying it's just crossing over to manipulating someone. It's emotional manipulation? Yeah. I don't know. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Definitely if it's like years and years and it's the same outcome every single time, it just means every time you apologise, you don't mean it. So I guess people be using their words and buying gifts as apology languages when you're in a relationship. I don't think there's anything...
I was going to say, I don't think there's anything... Like, say if you feel like you really messed up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's out of character of you, and you're like, oh, do you know, like, I really just want to get her something to make her feel a bit more happier from the situation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you're if you know, let's be honest, that you're a toxic person and you're just using is it gift giving as your way to like sweeten her up and sweeten her up, then fix up, okay? Please. That's who I'm referring to when I'm like, don't do the gifts, just actually change. Okay,
that's true. Okay, so you can basically say there's good and bad in both ways.
There is.
There's good in both. It depends on how you are as a person and what's your intentions. That's crazy. That's so true, because I'll be like, oh yeah, let me get their favorite item just to soften them up. And then there's other people who will generally get it because they thought, do you know what? Like, I am sorry. Yeah. And this is just something additional I want to do on top of the apology. Yeah, to lighten the mood.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because like, say if like you had an argument, you was coming home to your partner. Yeah. You may want to just stop off on the way and be like, oh, like this is gonna make them smile. Like I'm actually about to see them after we had an argument. Yeah. So it would be like, oh, you're just lying in the mood a bit.
Yeah, I got given a chocolate bar.
Oh, see,
the Cadbury popping candy. They're like, oh, I thought of you went to the shop, and I was like, oh, thank you.
That's sweet.
And it wasn't toxic though. But they were comparing to the flowers.
Right?
You only got me the flowers because it was like, let me see what I can do, soften her up. But you still continued the behaviour every single time after that, and still got me flowers every single time after that. Yeah.
At least you can see the two, and you're able to be like, this one's healthy, and this one was toxic. But we're not in that one anymore. We thank God. Okay, so it's fine. We take the proper candy bar.
Take it the proper candy bar for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. So, scenario time?
Let's go.
Okay, so it says almost something. I like him, maybe more than I wanted to admit. We talk every day for weeks, laughing, flirting, acting like something real was starting. But then it just faded. He stopped replying as much. And I didn't say anything, but I didn't want to seem needy. Now it's over, and I don't know what it was. Do I reach out, or do I just let go?
I don't know what to say, because I'm literally sat here reminiscing of those times when you think something is when you think something's going somewhere and then it just stops out of nowhere. Yeah. And you're like, but what even happened? And you're dying to know what happened. Because you genuinely just want to know, because it was going so well and then it just stopped.
What happened? Where did we blur the lines here? Like, it just is not making sense.
Yeah, but sometimes it kind of links to that closure episode we did, where sometimes it's not always necessary. It depends on the situation, depends on the person, and it depends on you personally, how you can navigate it. But for me, there was times when I could just, obviously it would annoy me, but I would talk to you about it, for example. And I would never get my answer from the person directly, but I just learned to get over it.
Just accept
and then sometimes I would, in certain situations, ask to be like, what happened? So it always kind of depended on the situation.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, it's awkward because you don't really know the situation.
I know, but just...
I guess you just kind of have to put it down to the type of person that they are. Like, if they're a really sweet, sensitive person, then I would say maybe consider the fact that they're potentially going through something. And they obviously didn't mean to handle it the way they have. Then I would say, I don't know, am I saying... In that case, I'll be real. Me personally, if I know you're a really sweet person, you're down to earth, and you have... Every time you've spoken, you never give me any mixed signals. I would reach out to you.
Yes,
I would be like, hey, how are you doing? I just want to check that everything's okay.
Yeah.
If I do not hear anything back, then I'm just going to
leave it.
If you reach out to me, reach out to me. If you don't, then you don't.
Yeah. And then on the flip side to what you just said, if there's someone that's always had you questioning what this is, what it could be, will it ever be something? You know, they message you here and there, they may ghost you in between. It's kind of a little bit toxic. You're always just basically lost, pretty much. Then no, do not send that message to say, hey, like, what happened? Or, hey, is everything okay? Because in my eyes, they don't deserve it. So it depends on what kind of person he is and how he's been with you and how he's made you feel. That will determine if you reach out or not, just to check in if they're okay. So I would probably say, just checking if everything's okay with you. Like, how's life going? Not, oh my God, you haven't messaged me in ages. What are we? So kind of approach of how are they doing personally as a person. So yeah,
that's the best approach.
That's what we would say on that one.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in for today's episode. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel.
And for our audio listeners, can you please give us a follow and leave us a review? Until next time.
Bye
guys.